Not really sure what that was all about. Welcome back, guys. This is JE Live, and we are going to be talking about the brand new contract extensions of. Now the Rams actually have three. Originally, we were going to talk about Joseph Noteboom and Brian Allen, who are coming back on 3-year deals, respectively. And now, I guess breaking news: the Rams are extending not Joseph Noteboom. They're also extending Coleman Shelton, who is going to sign a 2-year deal. So a multi-year deal for Coleman Shelton, who could replace Austin Corbett at right guard. And if he doesn't do that, then he is a hell of a backup to have. You like the 3-year deals, obviously, for Allen and Noteboom. I think it really just adds on to that draft class. You look at that draft class in 2019, 2018, excuse me. It was really impressive. It is a shame that a guy by the name of, John Franklin Myers only got 1 year with them, but it was pretty impressive, and I'm definitely, I'm looking forward to seeing these guys develop, especially with Coach Carberry. So, very excited for that dynamic. Welcome in, folks. Hope you guys are enjoying the first day of the legal tampering period. If you guys don't know how ridiculous that sounds, well, it's absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. Legal tampering. I always get a kick out of that. But what's up, Century? Hope everyone is doing well. We're going to talk about it. The Rams have solidified their offensive line at the worst. That's what they've done. Now you're looking at it. Left tackle, Joseph Noteboom. Left guard, David Edwards. Center, Brian Allen. Right guard, Coleman Shelton. Right tackle, Rob Havenstein. I will get into the deeper analysis as far as the time in which these guys will be on the roster in all likelihood, cap, things like that. But as of right now, this is a really good sign that the Rams have probably already moved some money around with some restructures that we have not, found yet. We don't have that information yet because they were over the cap by 20. They did have a pathway to free up over $100 million in cap space. Keep that in mind, as I mentioned before. But when you look at it, you go out and you get Noteboom back, who you've spent years developing, really. It makes a lot of sense. He's been behind Whitworth. That likely tells me that Whitworth is out the door. It likely tells me that they already know that Whitworth is retiring. We don't know, but there's a good chance that he's retiring. So let's dive into the offensive line right now, since that is today's topic, right? That's today's big deal until, we'll see otherwise. Rob Havenstein is under contract until what it looks like is actually some void years here. So let me dive into this. Havenstein is under contract until 2023. So this is his last season under contract with the Rams. He'll be a free agent after the season. You look at Edwards, he'll be a free agent in 2023. Whitworth would be a free agent in 2023 if he doesn't retire. So that's something to keep in mind there. And then you're looking at, Alaric Jackson, restricted free agent in 2024. I'd imagine they'll bring him back. Chandler Brewer is a free agent. They have Tremaine Ankrum will be a free agent in 2024. Bobby Evans will be a free agent in 2023. But now you have Noteboom and Allen, who won't be free agents until 2025. And, of course, you have Coleman Shelton, who won't be a free agent until the end of 2024. I do like those moves. Corbett's probably out the door. The Rams are going to have to figure that out, as far as the other guys. But make no mistake about it, this makes a lot of sense. Having Havenstein, having Noteboom, having Allen, having, the guys that they have, Edwards, and I don't know if they're going to go out and get anybody. But if they do go out and get anybody, then I actually really do like the idea of going out and getting Alex Bars, who started about 12 games for the Bears, and he is not going to be tendered. The former guard from Notre Dame. It's had a solid career so far, so I'm a little surprised he wasn't going to be tendered by the Bears, but that's a guy I'd be looking at. In addition to that, I think that, but first off, let's mention it. Noteboom was cut. I called it, but I really felt like he would come back to the Rams. The fact that he's reuniting with Aaron Cromer doesn't shock me in the slightest. I think it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, see the fit there. He's going to help Josh Allen. I think it makes a lot of sense for the Bills. And so, I'm excited for him in that regard. But, um, I think, at the end of the day, I just think that, we're going to see. I mean, the Rams have plenty more that they can do. As far as tight ends, they're good. Kendall Blanton will be a restricted free agent next year. Aside from that, they'll probably bring back Johnny Munt on a cheap contract. Jacob Harris obviously won't be a free agent until 2025. Bryson Hopkins won't be a free agent until 2024. Neither will Tyler Higbee. Moving on to the wide receivers, you look at it. Basically, Cooper Kupp won't be a free agent until 2024. Robert Woods won't be a free agent until 2026. Van Jefferson 2024, Tutu and Ben Skoranek 2025. Odell, of course, is a free agent this year. Running backs, Cam Akers 2024. Darrell Henderson becomes a free agent after this season. Jake Funk, free agent in 2025. Xavier Jones, restricted free agent after next season. And Raymond Calais as well, with Buddy Howell and Sony Michel, unrestricted free agents this season. Wouldn't be surprised if they bring back Howell to help with the with the special teams unit. As far as quarterback goes, Matthew Stafford, that's a domino that needs to fall. We don't know what's going to happen there. As far as that goes, Bryce Perkins is going to be a free agent after the season, exclusive rights free agent. He'll likely be back. And John Wolford is an exclusive rights free agent this season. So that's interesting there. He'll likely be back, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams shop John Wolford this offseason and maybe try to get a pick out of him with the way the quarterbacks look in this league. You look at defensive line, Aaron Donald. Well, obviously we know that he's going to have to, whatever he's going to do with his money. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I love Donald, but he's making $26.7 million in 2022. That is his number. Goes down to 23.5 in 2023, 23.5 in 2024. He'd be a free agent in 2025. So I'm not like a huge fan of reworking that deal, to be honest. I know he's the best player, but if you're trying to run it back, that wouldn't be my first priority. But yeah, he's holding retirement against the Rams that they don't bring him back on a bigger contract. Clearly, I think it was all about the money. But regardless, neither here nor there. 2025, he would be a free agent, but it's hard to tell based on the contract. We haven't seen the contract yet. A'Shawn Robinson will be a free agent after the season. Greg Gaines will be a free agent after 2023. We have Bobby Brown will be a free agent in 2025, as well as Chris Garrett. Justin Hollins is playing his last year under contract. He'll be a free agent in 2023. Copeland, exclusive rights free agent in 2023. Mike Hawk, exclusive rights free agent in 2023. Jonah Williams, Ernest Brown, and Sebastian Joseph Day are all free agents. Would imagine they bring back Ernest Brown, who's a draft pick. Sebastian Joseph Day is probably going to be gone. Leonard Floyd, things look good as far as Leonard Floyd's concerned. He's going to be under contract until the end of 2024. So he'll be a free agent in 2025. Terrell Lewis will be a free agent in 2024. Ernest Jones will be a free agent in 2025. Next year, Christian Roseboom is up for exclusive rights free agency. That'll be intriguing. Von Miller, obviously free agent. Okoronkwo, Troy Reader, and Traven Howard is an exclusive rights free agent. I expect Howard to be back, Von Miller to be back, and Okoronkwo and Reader to go get paid elsewhere. In the secondary, Jalen Ramsey is under contract until 2026 when he becomes a free agent. Probably he's the only one that is signed until 2026 with the LA Rams. So that's something that's interesting there. He's truly the face of the franchise moving forward. Whether you say it's Aaron Donald is the best player, that's fine. He is. But as far as the face of the franchise, that would be Jalen Ramsey based on the fact he is going to be signed longer than anybody at that point. Taylor Rapp becomes a free agent after the 2022 season. David Long does as well. Burgess in 2024. Rochelle in 2025. Nick Scott becomes a free agent in 2023. Jordan Fuller in 2024. And then you have Antoine Brooks. I believe he was cut. He's a free agent. Tyler Hall, Kareem Orr, they are free agents. Jake Gervais enters restricted free agency in 2023. Darius Williams and Dante Dion are also free agents this season. Hacker's a free agent in 2024. Matt Orzek, the long snapper, in 2023. And Matt Gay is a restricted free agent. I can't imagine I can't imagine him leaving, but that's that. So, all right, we move on. Let's see what we got. The Bucks are re-signing Carlton Davis to a 3-year, $45 million deal. All right, so that's the news right now. There's a lot going on, of course. J.C. Jackson getting some big-time money. 5 years, $85 million to go play for the Chargers. I like the fit there. I think the Chargers are going to be a good football team. Right now, if I'm the Rams, my priorities turn to guys like Stephon Gilmore, Bobby Wagner. Obviously, the obvious with you have to pay Aaron Donald. You have to pay Matthew Stafford. OBJ, bring him back. But on top of it, I like guys that are outside the organization that wouldn't be, I don't think would be a super burden on their cap. And one name, by the way, is 100% Corey Littleton. I would love Littleton and Wagner. If they could do either or, I'm fine with that, but at least get one of them. Morgan Fox got cut. I don't think he'd be because he got cut, I don't think he's part of the compensatory pick formula. But also, guys, keep this in mind. The compensatory pick formula, you can only have so many compensatory picks. The Rams are fine. If they want to go out and sign Stephon Gilmore, it's going to cancel out, probably Sebastian Joseph Day's, contract. But Darius Williams is going to go get paid. We know that. And we know that Corbett's going to get paid. So, it might cancel out one of those guys, but the Rams are still going to have plenty of, in my opinion, they're going to have plenty of capital that they get from the compensatory formula, even if they just go after like one guy in Gilmore. Littleton doesn't cost against it. Wagner's not against it. That's something to keep in mind. So that is what I'm very intrigued to see right now. My list, in order, I might add, OBJ, Von Miller, Bobby Wagner, Stephon Gilmore, Corey Littleton, and Cordell Patterson. I think this is a copycat league, and I would not be surprised if Sean McVay copied his buddy Kyle Shanahan and went out and got his own little version of Deebo Samuel and ran it the way he wanted to. Because I'll tell you right now, they're very similar offenses. It would not surprise me at all if Sean McVay went out and tried to emulate that. And I think that's the right approach. I think you can do it with Robert Woods. I know you guys, most of you probably saw the live stream where I was talking about the Robert Woods thing. And I know the biggest issue that came up is, will Robert Woods be able to take the brunt of, the workload? Will he be able to take, getting hit like that a lot in the backfield? I'm not saying he'd be a full-time running back or anything like that, but, I definitely think that they should consider trying to emulate that style, because having a guy like Deebo, he is just so valuable, So that's really what it comes down to. Guys, please be sure to get the likes on this video up. It sends more people over to the channel. We're at 33 likes, but we have over 100 people in here. Would really appreciate if we can get those likes up big time. Also want to let you guys know, if you're interested, my co-host of the Downtown Rams podcast, Alexis, she is going to be hosting a mock draft today. I don't know how many rounds it is, and frankly, I don't know if the Rams are a part of it. But definitely go out there, support her. I believe it's going to be at 8 or 9 Eastern. Let me just check. But she just started her own YouTube channel, and I think she's doing a great job. So, if you guys could do that, head on over there, show her some love a little bit later. Let's see. It is at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So be sure to head on over to Alexis's channel at 9 p.m. Eastern time. She's doing a mock draft there. And it looks like, okay, so Coleman Shelton is signed, as we know. Nothing new happened. Obviously, keep it right here. We can talk about whatever comes up. I will say this. The Rams need to make sure that they get Von Miller down and get him back on the roster after today's deal with Hassan Reddick. Because to me, the Eagles got an absolute steal in Reddick. about 15 million average annual salary. You're talking about a very good pass rusher at age 27, a guy that's in his prime, guy that has, a lot of potential, still untapped. I really like, in my opinion, I really like the look of that Philly signing. I think that makes a lot of sense for them. I'm a little surprised Hassan Reddick left his former college coach because he followed him to Carolina. But this is, make no mistake about it, 3-year deal. This is a really nice signing by the Eagles. Very impressed, but that's why I would say I want to see the Rams be able to sign Von Miller, because that would have been a guy, if they missed out on Von Miller, I would have been okay with going out and getting Reddick. Another surprising thing, Teddy Bridgewater signed as a backup to Miami. I don't really understand that. I don't get it. I think Bridgewater could have, started for the Saints if they miss out on Watson. He could have started for the Colts. He could have started for the Eagles if they wanted to get rid of Hurts. He could have started for the Texans. I don't understand how he ends up as a guy who I thought he played pretty well last year, showed his ability to push the ball down the field a little bit more, take more opportunities, take more risks. But the thing I don't understand is that he's going to be backing up Tua Tagovailoa in Miami. I think it makes a lot of sense for Miami. Don't get me wrong. If Tua struggles, then you have Teddy. But I don't understand how Teddy Bridgewater is going to be a backup in this league. As much as I like Mitch Trubisky and him going to the Steelers, I don't necessarily think he's a better quarterback right now. I don't think you could say it right now than Bridgewater. And so I don't get it. Bridgewater could start in Seattle. Bridgewater could start a lot of different places. So I'm a little surprised that he settled on a 1-year deal to be the backup quarterback for Miami, and his agent didn't kind of wait for things to play out. There's still one domino really left to fall, and that domino, of course, is Deshaun Watson. Where's he going to go? I'm hearing it's the Saints. I keep hearing it's the Saints. There's potential for the Panthers. I keep seeing all sorts of stuff. But to me, the Deshaun Watson domino is the one that you have to watch, because when that falls, other things are going to come together. I'm really impressed, by the way the Jaguars are not the Jaguars, definitely not the Jaguars. I'm not impressed at all by the Jaguars and what they did. Not a big fan of what they did technically. So anyway, I'm a big fan of what the Jets did. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but it looks like they got Scherf. I'm going to check it right now. But it looks like they got Brandon Scherf back. Let's see if we can do the full free agent tracker. Here we go. So Brandon Scherf is going to be in New York or New Jersey due to tax purposes. But I love it, because to me, the Jets are going out and they're trying to protect their investment in Zach Wilson. I think it makes a lot of sense. So I love to see that. Love it. This is taking forever to load, but so we got J.C. Jackson in Los Angeles with the Chargers. We got Christian Kirk is 25 years old. So I'm not knocking him. I think he's a very talented receiver, but 4 years, $72 million for Jacksonville, I don't get it. Especially the fact that DJ Chark's a free agent, and I'm not sure he's better than DJ Chark. So I'm not really a huge fan of that. Foye Oluokun goes to Jacksonville. I like that move, but $15 million for a linebacker. Granted, I know he's 26 years old, but $15 million for a linebacker is a lot. It's definitely a lot. It's, obviously a little bit of a risk there. Larry Ogunjobi, I like the fit there with Chicago. Makes sense in the interior. Laken Tomlinson also goes to the Jets. Now, he's 30. They get him on a 3-year, $40 million deal. A lot of money, but I like that they're trying to go and protect, Zach Wilson. Cedric Wilson is going to Miami, a little surprising, and they did pay him about $7.6 million with $12.7 million guaranteed. Another guy going to Miami is Chase Edmonds, 25-year-old running back. He signed a 2-year, $12.6 million deal that will come out to be 6.3 average annual. Jamarco Jones heads to Tennessee from Seattle. This is an underrated signing to me, 25-year-old tackle, 2-year deal for him. You have Bridgewater agreeing to a contract with Miami. Saffold agreeing to a 1-year deal with the Bills. Brandon Scherf Brandon Scherf is in Jacksonville. I don't know why I thought it was the Jets. Jacksonville got Brandon Scherf. Okay. Look, I like that for Trevor Lawrence, but they spent a lot of money, and we don't have the actual numbers for Scherf, but I really do like Mitch Trubisky getting the 2-year deal in Pittsburgh. I think it makes sense. I think he can be the starter. He's a lot better than Mason Rudolph, and I think people are going to find that out pretty quickly. So we'll see that. Yes, guys, be sure to smash the like button if you haven't already. Would really appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. I'm just trying to follow all these, all the moves and everything. Doesn't look like we have a ton of moves or anything like that, but, I like following along, making sure I can have a comment on everything. Let's see. I mean, I would love to see Gilmore and Ramsey. I really want to see Gilmore with the Rams. But yeah, how's everyone doing? We having a good Monday? No news at the moment. I'm sure that'll change. AJ Boye was released. Yeah, I'm glad too. I think the big thing here. What do you mean Vaughn to the Browns? Is he actually going to the Browns? I don't see anything about him going to the Browns. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything about him going to the Browns. Yeah. Yeah, nothing here. What's up, Brandon? Yeah, I like getting the offensive line, locked in and everything for this season. I mean, let's remember, and this is my biggest issue with Aaron Donald wanting more money, okay? You got to protect Matthew Stafford because Matthew Stafford is the reason you won that Super Bowl. He's not the only reason, but you've already seen the movie where they go to the Super Bowl with a different quarterback. Stafford was the big reason. I want that guy protected. I want that guy, if you're running it back, I think that's the thing. I don't know if signals got crossed along the way, but my thoughts on running it back, this is why, I'm not a big fan of Aaron Donald asking for more money. Because if you want to run it back, then you're saying that you want the whole team to come back. And it's if you want the whole team to come back, then his timing asking for a new contract isn't great. And furthermore, what I'll say is that, and I'm glad the Rams realized this, the Rams social media team who put run it back symbols on Coleman Shelton's re-signed graphic, on Joe Noteboom's re-signed graphic, and on Allen's re-signed graphic. Running it back is running it back with everybody. It's bringing back everybody. It's not just bringing OBJ and Von Miller back. I feel like that's the signal that got crossed or whatever, but this is why it was so imperative for them to bring back 2 of the 3. Corbett is likely going to get a big deal and he'll be gone. You had to make sure you got at least 2 of them, and they did. I do too, and I love AD, but I just feel like this is the wrong time. You win 2 in a row? You win 2 Super Bowls in a row? All right, then AD, come on. Now I could see it, but I don't think he's asking. I mean, they're working on AD's deal. What's up, Mark? Thank you so much for donating. Chances we get OBJ, Vaughn, Wagner, and Gilmore. I mean, it's like a parlay, right? You get 3 out of the 4, you don't win it all. I mean, I know they're getting OBJ back. Vaughn seems very likely. Wagner seems likely. And here's the thing. People have been saying Wagner wants to go to LA, but that may not mean the Rams. I think it absolutely means the Rams. I don't know how the Chargers would afford him. The Chargers wouldn't be able to afford him. Look at how much they're spending. They wouldn't be able to afford him. But regardless, I think he's going to the Rams. He's had a relationship with, Snead. I think he goes there. Gilmore, I hope he goes there, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. Yeah, still nothing on the news front. A little dead right now, but we'll see. Is Coleman Shelton starting at guard? That remains to be seen. I'm hearing Darius Williams will have a contract, or will be signing, or will be agreeing to terms on a contract soon. Yeah, I think Wagner's going to be a Ram. No, I wouldn't be a fan of going after Joe Hayden. Let's look at the corners right now, the corner market. So the way the corner market works right now, the way it looks, J.C. Jackson's the first domino to fall. He's the first one off the board. At 26 years old, it makes sense. Young 26 years old. Then you have Stephon Gilmore, who is available. Joe Hayden. Gilmore's 1 year younger than Hayden. I think Gilmore's a lot better than Hayden. Then you have Kyle Fuller at age 30. You have Tavon Young, more of a nickel guy. Chris Harris, more of a nickel guy. Patrick Peterson. I'm not the biggest fan of Patrick Peterson. I feel like he's going to want too much. Bryce Callahan, nickel. Jason Verrett, nickel. Kevin King, no. Xavier Rhodes, Darius Williams, he's 28 years old. He'll be going somewhere else. The Rams will get a nice comp pick for him. Ahkello Witherspoon, guys. I was on this show at some point last year when the Seattle Seahawks traded Ahkello Witherspoon, and I trashed the Seattle Seahawks, and I basically said that Seattle is absolutely not going to succeed. They're going to have a rough time this year. They're going to take a step back, and I was right on that front. So here's the deal with that, okay? I think Witherspoon at 26 years old would be a pretty nice piece for the Rams. The length is there. I believe he's a 6'2" corner. So I like that. Young at 26 years old. AJ Boye is also, intriguing there. Jimmy Smith for a 1 year deal maybe. Terrence Mitchell, Chavarius Ward, Steven Nelson, Desmond King, good nickel. Casey Hayward, nickel. Mike Hughes, nickel and special teams could help out. Kwan Williams, PJ Williams. You have Justin Coleman, Shannon Sullivan. I mean, there are a lot of guys here. DJ Reed is the one that I really like. Rasul Douglas sounds like he's going back to the Packers. And also Anthony Averett for the Baltimore Ravens is definitely intriguing in my opinion as well. So there are definitely some guys. They're not the biggest names. I mean, I know Sherman is available. He won't go to the Rams. There's no way. Norman's available. He won't go to the Rams. Dante Jackson at 26 years old becomes intriguing. Obviously, his ball production is there. So that's definitely a guy to look out for. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some guys. I mean, Desmond Trufant, Fabian Moreau, Mac Alexander, Isaiah Oliver. Like, the Rams, they have their pick of the litter here if they want any type of cornerback, whether they want a young guy, they want an older guy, they want a guy with length, they want a guy with, speed in the middle. Chuck Okorafor coming back to the Steelers on a 2-year deal, so they figured that out. I don't love the move. I mean, I kind of feel like they could have let him go, but, it is what it is. Let's see, anything else? Nothing at the moment. We will see. But let's look at the other positions here. So let's say inside linebacker. So who's available at inside linebacker? We got okay. So Bobby Wagner's available, Anthony Hitchens, Dante Hightower, Jordan Hicks. That's an appealing one too. If Jordan Hicks If the Rams don't get Wagner back, Jordan Hicks might be an intriguing option. He was released by Arizona. Kyle Van Noy, I like him, like his blitz potential. Jayon Brown, still 27 years old on Tennessee, good option. Jared Davis on the Jets. A.J. Johnson with Denver. You have Anthony Walker Jr. surprisingly as a free agent for Cleveland. Neville Hewitt, not a bad season in Houston. Quan Alexander, New Orleans. You have Corey Littleton, of course. Oren Brooks, Darren Bates, the former Ram, maybe help out in special teams. But yeah, there's some guys. Jawan Bentley with New England, no one's really talking about, 25 years old. Kenny Young, 26 years old, Denver. Obviously, bringing him back would be interesting. Kaiser, 27. Josie Jewell, 27. So there's some guys here that I do like, and the Rams would have a little bit of an opportunity there. Now looking, because I know some people are interested in a running back spot. And I can totally see us double dipping at cornerback as well. Actually, my first mock draft, I haven't released it yet, and I might change it, but as of right now, I have them double dipping on corners. So running backs, the only one that's gone off the board is Chase Edmonds at 6.3. You have Melvin Ingram, you have Tarek Cohen, David Johnson, Jalen Richard, Leonard Fournette, Phillip Lindsay, Cordell Patterson, Raheem Mostert, Devontae Booker, Rashad Penny, James White, Sony Michel, Carlos Hyde, Jeff Wilson, Marlon Mack, Brandon Bolden, Ronald Jones, Malcolm Brown, J.D. McKissick, Darrell Williams, Damian Williams, Giovanni Bernard, Ty Montgomery, Tevin Coleman. There's a lot of guys here. Alex Collins, Wayne Gallman, Royce Freeman, Kalen Ballage, Le'Veon Bell, Justin Jackson. I think Justin Jackson's intriguing at 25 years old. Stays in LA, goes to the Rams. I wouldn't mind that. Jerick McKinnon, I would love. I would also absolutely love Cordell Patterson. To me, Cordell Patterson has a few options here because I think he's going to get paid. And if Cordell Patterson wants a big payday, he can do that, right? He's 30 years old. He's coming off probably his best season. He has a chance to make a lot of money. But if he doesn't care about the money and cares more about the title, then he will go and take a lesser, money for a contender. And that could be the Rams. Rams have had some injury concerns with Cam Akers, of course, and Darrell Henderson. They're going to add another running back. I just don't know if it's going to be free agency or the draft, but we'll see. Let's see. Just waiting on, obviously, some news to come out. Doesn't look like anything has come out yet. I know that we're not far away from stuff coming out, but I'm not going to be streaming all night, so to speak. So, yeah, Will Dissly is coming back with the Seahawks on a 3-year deal. Maybe they'll finally let him go. So Watson is reportedly down to New Orleans and Carolina, which is interesting. He's rejected everybody but New Orleans and Carolina. The winner of the Watson sweepstakes isn't necessarily going to win the division, but I can tell you, if New Orleans, with that defense, if Deshaun Watson goes to New Orleans with that defense, they can beat Tom Brady's Bucs and win that division. Carolina, the defense is great. I don't love Ben McAdoo as their OC. So, that is going to be intriguing to see where Watson goes. Big back. I mean, I could see Hassan Haskins with Michigan coming to the Rams in the draft. I would imagine chips are going to start to fall. I think we'll start to hear. Curious to see if the Steelers do bring back Ahkello Witherspoon. I would be interested in Ahkello Witherspoon if they don't. I'll be honest, because I haven't gone live since Brady came back, because quite honestly, I don't really care. Tom Brady is great, no doubt, but the Bucs aren't as good as they were in his first season. And I don't think that this team is as good as they were in his second season. And I think a big issue is them losing, now Alex Kappa included. They lost their two guards. Kappa's gone. Sure, you bring back Ryan Jensen. But think about this. Ali Marpet, one of the best guards in football, retired. And he said it was tempting, but he decided to retire and go after his masters. Oh, Witherspoon just re-signed with the Steelers? Oh, I don't see anything on it. Are you sure? Oh, I see it. That's smart. Good for them. I'm glad. That's a real good move for them, and a real dumb move gets just even dumber from Seattle. That's why you don't make too big of a deal about preseason. I remember Seahawks fans telling me I was wrong about Witherspoon because he was garbage in preseason. But I also remember those same people saying that Jamar Chase was going to be a bust because he couldn't catch anything in preseason. So, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Alex Kozoro mentioned that he wasn't signed yet, and then I see Blitzberg and some of the other ones reporting that he was. So, I mean, it looks like he was. So, a full deal for J.C. Jackson just came out. It's 5 years, $82.5 million with a $25 million signing bonus, $40 million in total guarantees. First 2 years are fully guaranteed. He has a $2 million roster bonus available in 2024, 25, and 26. Yeah, that's a lot. Let's see. Anything else with the Rams? No, nothing with the Rams. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure those chips are going to fall soon. OBJ is going to be back soon. Vaughn will probably be back soon. The Rams have the advantage because they're the reigning Super Bowl champions. I mean, there's not really incentive to leave that. Jacksonville just signed Evan Ingram to a 1-year, fully guaranteed $9 million deal that can go up to $10 million with incentives. Intriguing, going out and getting more weapons for Lawrence, but yeah, that's the latest. Evan Ingram has just signed or just agreed to sign a deal with the Jaguars. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, Evan Ingram hasn't been the best player in New York for the Giants, but we will see how that goes. Let's see. How we all doing? Make sure to drop a like. We're at 170 plus viewers. We have 72 likes. Would really appreciate you guys dropping a like, thumbs up, whatever you want to call it. Really does help out the channel. Drags people in here. People want to watch. Yada yada. So that's that. Let's see. I mean, Ingram's always had issues with his with staying healthy. I mean, that's always been his biggest issue, so. No, I never thought Landry was coming to the Rams. Gilmore, I think, could, and I really do think Bobby Wagner is going to end up being a Ram, but I do think that we'll start to hear about a Stafford contract extension soon. Going out and getting the offensive line, that's a good sign that they're focusing on Stafford, protecting him, all of that. So, Melvin Ingram, I don't know if he truly fits what they do, but I mean, he's a good player for sure. I wouldn't be against it for the right price. I don't really think that they're going to go after an edge because they just want to get, Von Miller. And I know they're interested in the idea of going out and getting, are interested in the idea of bringing back Okoronkwo. I think that's the big thing here, if that makes sense. You think the Jags will make the playoffs? I mean, that division I think is wide open. The Colts, I don't know what to make of them. I don't know what to make of the Titans. I really don't. I don't think the Titans are winning a Super Bowl with Tannehill, so. Any concern with the Rams playing with the cap is going to severely hurt them at some point, like the Saints? I mean, not really. And I mean, we could kind of look at it. So let's go through this and why I'm not really worried. So the Rams, we'll go to team salary cap. We'll go to Los Angeles Rams. And we'll look at multi-year summary. And the multi-year summary would suggest that the Rams have, let's see here. They have... No, I guess it's not going to show. Okay. Let's see. 2023. So 2023, the Rams have $81 million in cap space as of right now. And they don't have a ton of free agents, but they have a little bit there. They have Havenstein, Ashawn. So, they have a little, obviously they have probably a little bit more than that. But then 2024, the Rams cap space goes up to $206 million. With Ramsey, Donald, Floyd, Woods, Kupp. Well, Kupp is a free agent. So it would be Woods, Floyd, Donald, Ramsey, Atwell, Jones, Bobby Brown, Rochelle, Harris, Funk, Skoranek, Garrett, Allen, and Noteboom all under contract. So I don't think it's going to happen with the Rams, to be honest with you. No. Because the way it looks is that the Saints that Drew Brees deal was just not, a lot of their deals just weren't done well. So does Judon get a deal done today? Judon's already under contract. Yeah, Judon's already under contract, so there's no deal that needs to be done with Judon. Deshaun Watson rejects trade to Seattle Seahawks. I don't blame him. Why would I want to go to Seattle? You guys trade away... well, not traded, but... You guys let go of Bobby Wagner. You're talking about trading away DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. No, it does not sound like a team that I would want to go to, so I don't blame Deshaun. I think Deshaun Watson's going to end up with the Saints. I think they're the best fit. I personally would turn down a trade to Carolina if I could go to the Saints. Yeah, the cap is not great. I mean, let's just be honest. They haven't done a great job of doing that, but I disagree with you. I love JB Long. Yeah, and that's why I go through it. You know, that's why I go through the cap, Rashawn. I just think that, you know, everyone fear mongers, like you said, and so Josina Anderson reports on Twitter. I'm told Deshaun Watson is set to meet with the Saints and Panthers in Houston through Monday evening. I'm also told Watson is currently planning to meet with more teams tomorrow at this time. So that's interesting there. The Watson saga. I would imagine Watson gets traded probably Wednesday. You know, we'll probably have an, it's going to be soon. I don't think Watson's going to Indy because I don't think Houston is going to do a contract or do a trade like that with a division rival. I just don't. So, but I do think Deshaun Watson is going to be traded this week. That's where I'm thinking. What do the Rams have to do to have a successful free agency? Um, well, I think they just need to make sure that Von Miller and OBJ are back. After that, I mean, I want Wagner, I want Cordarrelle, I want Gilmore. I just think that at the end of the day, it's a successful free agency if they don't lose anybody massive. The Saints don't scare me with Watson. I think that they would be a top NFC team, but I just don't think anybody can compete with the Rams if they are able to bring back Von Miller and OBJ. I mean, I really don't. It might hurt. You might see some effects losing Sebastian Joseph Day. Might. Especially if Greg Gaines were to go down and Bobby Brown were to go down. Yeah. But at the same time, you can't keep everybody. You may see the effects of losing a guy like Corbett, but at the same time, you can't afford to keep everybody. So, I think the Rams have done exactly what they should have done. This is exactly how they should have started free agency. You sign your 3 guys on the offensive line. Simple as that. You make sure they are signed. Corbett was going to be too much. You can't spend that much on a guard. I think he's going to get paid a whole lot of money to go to Cincinnati. Makes sense. So, I like what the Rams have done. All they have to do now is just take care of Von Miller and OBJ to me, and that's fine. The rest is icing on the cake. I want to see Gilmore. I want to see Wagner. I want to see Littleton. I want to see Cordarrelle. But those are what I want. I feel like they need to bring back Vaughn, and they need to bring back OBJ. Mainly OBJ, but I definitely think they need to bring back both of them. Yo, what's good, Jake and Ramley? What's up, Darius? Thank you so much for donating. Appreciate it. With it looking very likely that Darius, not me, LOL, love that. I love that little tidbit that you threw in there, is leaving. What's our most realistic replacement draft? Great question. This is a fantastic question, Darius. Well, I think first off, we talk about DJ Reed, a guy that I like a lot, top 10 cornerback per PFF. He's leaving Seattle in all likelihood since it doesn't make any sense for them to bring him back if they're blowing up the team. DJ Reed makes a lot of sense, can play all over the secondary, pretty much the same size as Darius Williams, but I think he's more physical. So that's a guy I'm looking at. But if not him, and he's not my number one target. My number one target who would fit like a glove, in my opinion, alongside Jalen Ramsey is Stephon Gilmore. When you look at the way you use Jalen Ramsey as a guy that is essentially the Where's Waldo role, the guy that's essentially the star position. They call it a star because what does a star do? It sprawls out over the place, right? So a star covers multiple areas. Star position, linebacker, safety, corner, boundary corner, nickel corner, even edge. Like, that's the thing. So Jalen could play all those positions, and now you don't have to worry about it because you can put Stephon on an island and have Jalen roam and just have him go wherever he wants. I think that would be a huge, huge play for the Rams. So I would really like that move. On top of that, they don't get Gilmore or DJ Reed. You look at the potential of playing a guy like Robert Rochelle or David Long. I thought they showed some good signs last year. Rochelle's a little behind the eight ball. He's a former receiver, keep in mind, that transferred to cornerback. But when you look at a guy like, for instance, David Long, that had that, impressive ascension, I think, you like what you saw at David Long last year. It started off rough, right? I mean, it was a rocky start to the season, but David Long progressed as the season got better and better and better. I think this is somebody that you can count on, at least in the slot. I think he's a great nickel corner, but you can also count on him in the boundary as well. With that said, though, I don't think they're done. So if they don't get anybody in free agency and they lose Darius Williams, there's potential Dante Dion comes back. But if he doesn't, you're looking at Rochelle, Long, and Ramsey. So what happens then? You have some practice squad guys that might have some value, but at the end of the day, I think the Rams might double dip in cornerback, and you can look at guys in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. A guy I really like out of Cincinnati, Kobe Bryant. I know that name in LA, crazy, spelled differently, but this is somebody that played alongside Sauce Gardner. I like his ball production. I like his overall physicality. And I think that guy could definitely transition to the NFL, as well as Monteric Brown from Arkansas. You talk about a guy that is physical. He didn't run the best 40 time at the combine, but I don't give a damn because the guy on tape is just constantly sticking with the hip pocket, making plays. Arkansas had an absolute stud in Monteric Brown, and if he is there in the 3rd, 4th, or even 5th round, I would double dip on both of those corners. You also have some other guys as well. And I have a list that I can bring up too. I mean, I really do like the cornerbacks in this draft. If you need a cornerback, this is the draft to need a cornerback. I mean, I think it's a really good cornerback draft all around. So I'm excited for that. I think that when you look at cornerback, the Rams archetype, like I've said before, you look at no arm length smaller than 30 inches, okay? The Rams like long corners. They like guys that can use their length, that can either press or, they can make up some ground. So no arm length smaller than 30 inches. On top of that, typically zone fit, zone scheme fit. And then, good football IQ. You want smart players. Obviously, I think they're a big fan of that. And there's no height requirement. I think that is a big thing for the Rams, is that yes, they may have Jalen Ramsey, who's 6'1", and who literally is the prototypical perfect cornerback in the modern football era, but they just started a guy by the name of Darius Williams, who is 5'9". Dante Dion is 5'7", 5'8". So this is my point, is that they don't worry about height, which to me doesn't put them in any pre-existing pod, and it doesn't limit them really. You can narrow down some of the names. I like Kobe Bryant, like I said, from Cincinnati, Monteric Brown from Arkansas. Talk about Josh Thompson, a guy that can help you in special teams as well. For Texas, I believe we'll be interviewing him on Downtown Rams, so watch out for that, as well as Kobe Bryant at some point. Jermaine Waller, I think he's an interesting one from Virginia Tech. Chris Steele from USC. There are definitely some guys here that I do like for the Rams. But I really, if I could pick anybody of the names I think make logical sense, and are realistic, the 3 that I would pick, actually, I'd put a 4. So a top 4, I'm saying Kobe Bryant from Cincinnati. I'm saying Monteric Brown from Arkansas. I'm saying Josh Thompson from Texas and Darrell Baker Jr. And yes, we did just interview him from Georgia Southern. That is somebody that has some physicality there. He's a scrappy cornerback. And I think, obviously the length is there. This is somebody that would definitely have an impact with the Rams. Those are 4 guys, 4 names you want to drill into your brain. You're probably going to see them on a Jake Ellenbogen, in some fashion anyway. Jake Ellenbogen Rams mock draft 1.0. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's how I feel in regard to that. Looks like the Texans are releasing Marcus Cannon, who they acquired in a trade from New England. He underwent back surgery that ended his season. Houston declined Indianapolis' attempt to speak with Deshaun Watson per source. Houston will not trade Deshaun Watson to the AFC South. So that was pretty obvious. We all knew it, but now it's out there, So, will it be possible to get Wagner and Gilmore? Yes. Yes, I think it will. I really do. I mean, I don't know if they'll do it, but I think it is possible. I think, first off, here's what you do, okay? You get Gilmore and Wagner to come to LA on a 1-2 year deal that is all like very heavily incentive based. It basically is saying you want to win a championship. We can't afford to pay you this much as the other team. This team's not going to win a championship, okay? We won it last year. We believe we can win it again. You're going to help us take less money. Let's bring this all together. We're not asking you to take less money because of your value. We're asking you to take less money so we can afford Gilmore. So if I bring you in, Bobby, I'm trying to bring in Gilmore, going to get you guys both in here. That's the plan. So I do believe that both of them will have a chance to be Rams. If I had to put money on who's more likely, it's Wagner. I think it's Wagner by a mile. I'm not sold that Stephon Gilmore will be a Ram, but I do like the fact that he has that connection to Jalen Ramsey. They are buddies. Jalen has already tried to recruit him before. I would not be surprised if Gilmore is a Ram. Now, it sure would be interesting, right? Gilmore's the one that had the snapshot game-sealing interception in the Super Bowl against the Rams. I mean, Sony Michel had the go-ahead touchdown against the Rams in the Super Bowl too, so, wouldn't be surprised. But Chandler Jones, we'll see. I mean, Chandler Jones is a little bit older. He's probably, he's the Von Miller guy. Like, if they don't get Von Miller, I could see them going after Chandler Jones if they feel like he's a need. But if they miss out on Von Miller, I have a weird feeling that they might just, stick it out with who they have and maybe draft a guy. Like, I don't feel like they would necessarily go and sign Chandler Jones. They might trade for a pass rusher in the middle of the year because they know that they can. I don't think that they would necessarily just sign, because that's just not their mantra, right? They're about adding on. They're not about replacing through free agency. I mean, think about this, okay? They added on. Leonard Floyd didn't replace anybody. When they got Leonard Floyd, he was an add-on. Like, you could say, yeah, like, his contract was essentially what they could have offered Corey Littleton. They played two different positions. So, they added on with Leonard Floyd. They added on with Ashawn Robinson. He didn't replace anybody. Typically speaking, they add on. They don't replace guys in free agency. So if they lose Von Miller, they'll probably just let him go. And I saw that they would get a 5th round compensatory pick for him, which is a little surprising. I didn't think that they'd get anything for him, but apparently you would get a 5th round compensatory pick if you lost Von Miller. And the only reason it's so low is because of the fact that it's his veteran, his seniority in the league makes it a lower compensatory pick, which makes sense. Because, like, what are you losing long term? You're not losing a ton long term. He's not gonna be playing forever. Let me just say this, Nene. It's not a bad signing. And for anybody that thinks the Brian Allen signing at 3 years, $24 million is a bad signing, hear me out when I say this. Brian Allen is not getting paid $8 million per year necessarily. And if he is, then it's going to be incentive based with accelerators that he has to earn. The Rams contracts aren't as simple as he's getting paid this, right? Like, Noteboom got 3 years, $45 million or $50 million, $40 million? I don't remember what it was. But my point is that these guys don't necessarily, like, that's not the cap hit necessarily. The Rams are going to work their magic, and they're going to make a cap hit work for them. And that's the thing. They can do that with bonus money. They can do that by adding incentives. The Deshaun Jackson trade was like $3 million a year for 1 year. But it was reported as a $7.5 million deal. And why is that? It's because incentives. It was heavy incentive based. So, I wouldn't worry about it. It's not a bad deal. I think, obviously I would have liked an upgrade over Allen if they could have. But, I think Allen makes sense. Stafford wants him. He picked him as the center. Makes sense. So, we're just waiting on more news. Panthers cut Morgan Fox. I wouldn't mind him coming back to the Rams. Yeah, Chargers, they're not looking bad. Chargers are not looking bad. We can say that with confidence. Speaking of which, let's take a look at their team right now. If it ever loads. Oh, that's probably not why it's not loading. Can't wait for my laptop to come in, man. For real. I'm curious when I get this new laptop, because I'm getting the MacBook M1 Max. I'm curious when I get this new laptop if I'm going to be able... Like, I might... Depending on how well Streamlabs runs, I might have more graphics. I might change up my setup a little bit. The reason I don't use all sorts of graphics is because this app lags when I try to change things. So, yeah, you could be seeing an upgrade. Appreciate the 200 viewers, man. This has been a pretty killer stream. We've been live for a little bit over an hour now, so that's cool. Let's see, positional spending. Well, and that's my thing. So you go out, you get Russell Wilson, great, but like, are you better than the Chargers? Like, can you realistically say that the Broncos are better than the Chargers because they got Russell Wilson? Because I don't think you can. This is what the Chargers have. Ready for this? Justin Herbert, age 24, quarterback. Austin Eckler, Josh Kelly, Larry Roundtree, running backs taken care of. They got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams under contract, Josh Palmer, 23 years old, Tennessee wide receiver, third-round pick. I like him. I like Jalen Guyton as the deep threat. Maybe add another receiver to that mix, but they look good there. Then you have Donald Parham, Trey McKitty. So that's something there. Maybe they go after and get another tight end, but they like McKitty. You have an offensive line that has Bulaga, Filer, Slater, Pipkins. You probably want to go out and get a guard, I would imagine. Maybe, get one guard. Corey Linsley is one of the best centers in football. Defensive line, you have Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Chris Rump. I really like that pickup. Then you have Andrew Brown, who I also like. You have, for defensive tackle, Jerry Tillery, Braden Fajoko, former friend of the podcast. Linebacker, Joey Bosa. Well, I think I already said this, right? Yeah, I already said that. So, linebacker, Kenneth Murray, Drew Tranquil, Emike Egbule, Jamal Davis. So, they could probably get another linebacker or two. Corner, you have Michael Davis, Asante Samuel Jr., J.C. Jackson. Looks pretty damn good there. And then safety, Derwin James, Nasir Adderley, Alohi Gilman. And there you are. So I think the Chargers look pretty damn good, and they're not done. They still got $20 million in cap space. I don't think that actually takes into effect what they've already done with JC. Yeah, JC Jackson's contract hasn't been entered in yet. So yeah, they don't have a ton of space left, but they can add some guys in the draft, and I think that they're better than the Broncos. Chris Garrett's still on the roster. Can I turn the I'm showing like I'm peaking. Can you guys hear the audio well? Because it looks like I'm peaking. I'll turn the let's see if I turn the gain up. Is that too much? Let me know. Ascending Keys Beats, thank you so much for donating. If we get Gilmore at cornerback, we should draft linebacker. I mean, I could see that. I'm not really a huge fan of the linebacker class, to be honest with you, but, I could see it. Rick, thank you. You're a champion for that. Be sure to hit the like. We're over 200. We got 120 likes. It's getting people in here. YouTube's like, hey, you got to come they're not like that at all. They're like, hey, you got to come check out Jake's channel, So since I turned it up, we're not peaking. It's not too loud. I'm not trying to blow anyone's eardrums. I took off the headphones because after a while, my ears start to ring and stuff. I don't know why, but I like monitoring my voice. But yeah. Deshaun Jackson, I mean, I could see that's kind of what Jalen Guyton does, but I mean, I guess I could see that. Maybe, Joakim. I think at the end of the day, right now, the Bills and Rams seem like two teams that are just above everyone else. I really feel like that. The Bills have a really good roster. And adding Saffold, that was a great signing. I'm just going to say that right now. Going out and getting Cromer, great hiring. Going out and getting Saffold, great signing. I mean, you got Josh Allen. You have Singletary and Moss. I think they go out and get a better running back. You have Stephon Gilmore. Beasley, I think, is looking for a trade. So it would be Stephon Gilmore, Gabe Davis, Isaiah McKenzie. So they could probably go and get another receiver in the draft or something. Dawson Knox has been killer for them as well. They have Tommy Sweeney, the blocking tight end. Deion Dawkins. They have Cody Ford, Roger Saffold, Mitch Morse. And they have Spencer Brown and Tommy Doyle. So, they have some guys on the offensive line. Edge, Russo, Epinesa, Basham. Then they have tackle, a defense tackle. They have Star Latule and Ed Oliver. Linebackers, Edmonds, Milano, Matakevich, Dodson, Giles Harris, and Andre Smith. Corners, Tre'Davious White, Taron Johnson. Safety, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Saran Neal, DeMar Hamlin, Jaquan Johnson. I think they really have a great roster. Wait, what? Are the Bucs really considered Super Bowl favorites? Are they betting on Super Bowl favorites? Because that's ridiculous. I think the Bucs are overrated. I'm not scared of Tom Brady. I'm just annoyed that I'm going to have to hear about him constantly. I think the Rams have their number. They just do. Thank you so much for donating yet again. I appreciate it. If we land Wagner, hopefully draft a cornerback from Arkansas. You could probably do all of it from what you're saying. You can get Gilmore and Wagner and still draft the cornerback from Arkansas. Monteric Brown, man. All right, so the Bucs, Tom Brady. They have Keyshawn Vaughn and Kenyon Barner on the roster as of right now. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen Darden, Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson. That's a good, Cyril Grayson, Vincent Smith. That's a good wide receiver group. Very good. Cameron Brate, I think obviously we know that Gronk will be back. Donovan Smith, Tristan Wirfs. You have, this is bad, okay? These are your guards. So you have John Molchin, Nick Leverett, Aaron Stinney, and Sedarius Hutcherson. And then your centers are Robert Hainsey and Ryan Jensen. So probably Hainsey will play one of the guard spots, but guard is going to be an issue, like I said, because they don't have Ali Marpet. He's gone. He's retired, not coming back. And they lost Alex Kappa. So then edge, you have Shaq Barrett at age 30, Joe Tryon Shoyanka, Anthony Nelson, Cam Gill, Elijah Ponder, and Benning Patoa. All right. And then defensive tackle, Vita Vea, Rakeem Nunez, Roches, Willington, Prevalon, and Kobe Smith. I just don't... This roster has some good talent, but, like, obviously Devin White, Levante David, yep, I get that. KJ Britt, Grant Stewart are all right. Cornerbacks, Sean Bunting, Jamel Dean, Carlton Davis is back, Ross Cockrell, Rashard Robinson, D. Delaney, and safety Mike Edwards, Antoine Winfield Jr., Troy Warner, and Chris Cooper. They still have to bring back Whitehead. They still have to bring back Fournette, Gronkowski. I don't get why this team is considered... I don't get it. Just because Tom Brady's there. I mean... I don't know. Tim settled to Buffalo on a 2-year deal. So he's going to help their interior defensive line. Good move for Buffalo. Oh, Seattle apparently re-signed Quandre Diggs to a 3-year, $40 million deal. So they're paying their safeties absolute bags. By the way, Tampa Bay has a negative 17 cap right now. But I got to check this out because there's just no way that you can tell me. There's no way you could tell me Tampa Bay is number 1 right now. Let's see. I gotta check this out. They're ahead of the Rams? That's hilarious. So, the updated Super Bowl odds, plus 700 Bills, plus 750 Chiefs, plus 850 Buccaneers, plus 1,000 Packers, plus 1,100 Rams. That is hilarious. Really? Like you heard the Tampa roster I just listed, right? How the hell did Tampa pass the Rams? That's ridiculous. It doesn't matter if they have Tom Brady. Since Tom Brady has left New England, he's 0-3 against Sean McVay and the Rams. Wow. That's so idiotic. That is so funny. I had to tweet because I was like, what the hell? Just no words, I guess. I mean, Tom Brady is still highly productive. But, I mean, Tom Brady hasn't beaten the Rams since he's joined the Buccaneers. It's just ridiculous. The Brady love is ridiculous. And like I said, great player, still playing at a high level. This is probably the worst Buccaneers team he's been on. I think last year was the second, and I think the best team was the year they won the Super Bowl. It's just stupid. He's going to be 45. He's going to be 45 before the season starts. And his team is Super Bowl favorites over the Rams, who just won the Super Bowl. Who have the potential to bring back Von Miller and OBJ and pretty much run it back with the top guys that they had. I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's just like, it's stupid at this point. I mean, wow. Just wow. Yeah, it is wild. But like I said, I mean, whatever. I'm just annoyed I have to hear about it over and over again. You know, part of me wanted him to go to the Niners. Because I think the Rams have his number, personally, but... Well, it's not really predict. It's betting odds. So, like, there's a lot of people putting actual monetary value on the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl. And also, like, here's the thing, okay? I want to talk about this real quick. Green Bay's higher than the Rams. The Rams haven't beaten Green Bay. I'm okay with that. Until the Rams beat Green Bay, if you want to say that the Packers are better odds than the Rams, fine, whatever. That's fine. The Rams have brutalized Tampa. They've lost 3 games to the Rams since Brady came there. They lost to Goff, and they lost to Stafford twice, one in the playoffs. They were dominating that playoff game. They came back on like some fluke 4 fumble performance that you'll never see again probably. And they were dominated earlier in the season at SoFi. It's just, it cracks me up. I'm totally fine with the Packers being favorites over the Rams. Fine with it. I disagree with it. Like, the Rams, I think, are the best team in the NFC. And as much as I love Aaron Rodgers, he's got as many Super Bowl wins as Matthew Stafford, and they haven't been to a Super Bowl in a while. It's not really that. It's the fact that, like, the Rams haven't beaten the Packers. So I'm okay with that. Sean McVay hasn't beaten LaFleur. But when the Rams are 3-0 against Brady and the Bucs, and they have lower odds to win the Super Bowl, when they're the defending Super Bowl champions, a big reason is because they beat the Buccaneers on the way there, and the Buccaneers roster isn't as good as it was last year. I just think that's comedy. It's absolutely ridiculous. Whatever, man. I don't know. I just think it's a bunch of people like, oh, well, it's Tom Brady, so I got to put all my money down to win. Like, whatever, dude. Now, just imagine. I'm not saying it'll happen, but just imagine if, like, at some point this season it just hits and Tom Brady turns into how Peyton Manning was his last season in the league. Then how bad do the Bucs look? They had no plan. That's the thing I laugh at. I haven't been live since he got picked up by the Bucs, or he decided to come back, so I'm going to say this. I think the Bucs are a joke, to be honest with you. I don't think they ran this well at all. They let Kappa go. You know, I mean, Marpet is retiring, so he's not coming back. Are you going to pay Gronkowski a ton of money just because Brady's back? You are. Of course you are. And I look at it and I'm like, Tampa's team's good, but like, how great are they? Like, are you really telling me that the Saints, if they were to get Deshaun Watson, couldn't win that division? I think they could. I mean, the reason I have my issues with the Buccaneers is because they just look pathetic. They had no plan. Their plan, their hope, they begged, they pleaded for a 45-year-old quarterback to come back and save them. That's pathetic. I like don't even have words for how pathetic. I mean, it was just absolutely pathetic on their part. I don't care who likes it either. Like, I'm sorry. I don't take the Buccaneers seriously as a team building organization right now. The most important position is quarterback, and if Tom Brady didn't come back from retirement, what the hell were you doing? What was your plan? You were going to trot out Kyle Trask? Really? Still have to sign Jordan Whitehead. You still have to sign Gronkowski. You still have to sign Fournette. You're going to be starting a guard that's probably a replaceable player, so you probably have to draft a guard. I just don't, I don't see it, guys. I don't. They have talent, don't get me wrong. The Buccaneers have talent. It's why Brady went there. He knew what he was doing. But I just think the management, they kind of showed you. They have no plan if Brady were to retire or get hurt. Kyle Trask is your starter in Tampa if Brady decides to retire. That's a bad, bad plan. That's my thing. I would give them credit. I would totally give the Bucs credit if they got Brady and then they drafted somebody. Like, they drafted Trask. Like, if they got Ritter this year, okay. They develop Ritter. They get somebody like that, okay. Carson Strong. But, their plan was literally Trask. I can't. They got lucky. They got lucky, and they're still not going to win the Super Bowl. What are the odds to bet on a team that will absolutely not win the Super Bowl? Because I would take them. I put my whole bankroll on BetMGM on the fact that the Bucs will not make the Super Bowl. Because they're not going to. Okay, so the Saints, Winston is a free agent. They have Ian Book, Blake Bortles, and Taysom Hill. I mean, Hill has a plantar fasciitis deal. That's going to be a problem. Ian Book is not going to start. Winston will probably be back if they don't get Watson. But say they get Watson. Okay, so now they got Watson. They have Kamara. They have Ingram. They have Tony Jones. Wide receiver. Figure things out with Michael Thomas. Are you going to trade him? Are you going to keep him? Michael Thomas with Watson would be something. Deontay Harris had a good end of the season. Marquez Callaway. Juwan Johnson, the wide receiver tight end hybrid. They could definitely get another wide receiver or two. Tight ends, Adam Troutman, premium pick on him. Nick Vannett, so not bad. Teron Armstead, do you bring him back? I think you have to. Ryan Ramczyk, Then, at guard, Andres Pete, Cesar Ruiz. Center, Eric McCoy. So the offensive line is taken care of for Deshaun Watson, should he get there. Then you have, probably want to add a receiver or two. You have a great running backs. You have some solid tight ends. Defensive players, you have Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, Marcus Davenport, Peyton Turner, Zach Bond, Tano Passanio, Carl Granderson. I like the way this team looks. Onyemata in the trenches. You have Pete Werner at linebacker. In the back end of the secondary, Bradley Roby, Marshawn Lattimore, Paulson Adebo. And then you got Malcolm Jenkins and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And you'll have to figure out things with Marcus Williams, but this defense looks really good. I like that they kept the defensive coordinator, who was the interim head coach. He's now going to be the head coach. I like the Saints as a destination. I like them to win the division if they get Watson. Yeah, I'm not one to point rigged, but I need to see it. Like if you know, I would need to see them win the Super Bowl to know how they won it before I said it was rigged. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not going to go that route. Pretty quiet. Oh, Browns just signed Taven Bryan to a $5 million deal. I like that move. Get him away from Jacksonville, see what he can do. Deontay Jones, thank you for subscribing. Ugh. Yeah, but those streaks always end. Oh, he wins every other year. All right. Well, sounds like to me he's due to lose then. The streak dies someday. I mean, for you NASCAR fans out there, Jimmy Johnson was chasing 8 for a while. He has 7 championships. And, I mean, I'll say it to this day, I don't think NASCAR was going to let him pass Richard Petty or Dale Earnhardt, personally. Tom Brady, he's going to be chasing 8. Is he going to actually have 8? I don't think so. I don't think Brady wins another Super Bowl because I think this is his last year. I think he's going to come back and realize, you know what? I'm still a good player. Very good player. Playing great football. But this team is not going to win a Super Bowl, and I'm not going to go to another team to try to make something happen. As far as the signings go, I look on Spotrac. That's my favorite spot. I know people are like huge over the cap fans. I like Spotrac. The only thing I don't like about Spotrac is it slows down my computer, but wow. So the Steelers paid Okorafor as much as the Rams paid, or a little bit less than the Rams paid Brian Allen. Wow. That's just wow. Well, welcome aboard. Appreciate it. We love Von Miller here. Well, in Brockaflower, kind of going back to the Johnson point that I was making, that's what I was saying. Is that I noticed when Johnson, like, that's why Johnson to me is the GOAT in NASCAR. It's not Petty. The competition was nowhere near as good as it is now, and Petty's car was better than most cars on the track. And Earnhardt has an argument, but my reason for Johnson is because with Johnson, he was winning those championships when they kept changing the rules every single year. He was winning those championships. You know? So, I mean, to me, he's the GOAT. He had some bad luck his last few years. I mean, he would get into every single accident. He could not dodge accidents. He came in second one year, and they, gave him a violation at the end of the race or whatever, so he finished last. There's just all sorts of stuff. But I really believe they never wanted him to pass Petty and Earnhardt. I stand by that. I really believe that. Johnson, every year, they just kept changing the format of, the Cup Series. Absolutely, Joakim. Hey, there we go, Brockaflower. I mean, people argue about it, but I'm just like, what are we arguing? 3 teams are in on Stephon Gilmore: the Jets, the 49ers, and the Raiders. So the Rams are not in. Jets, 49ers believed to be the most interested. 49ers hoping to get Gilmore for below what Jackson Davis got, 15 to 16 APY. That could be a problem. I don't want him going there. Yeah, I don't want him going to the Niners. Let's see. All right. So wrapping this thing up, since we've been live for an hour and a half. Oh, Jake, do you think Baker will stay with the Browns? If not, who do you? I think he will, because I think the Browns are going to be complacent, just like for whatever reason their fan base is being with him. But I think they'll stick with him and not go anywhere. And then maybe they'll get it through their head that he's not the guy. We'll see. Yes, I did notice that they are playing the Chargers. Um. So guys, before I bounce out of here, okay. Oh, we have here. All right, here. So here we go. Ready for this? Joseph Noteboom contract according to Spotrac. The full numbers. 3 years, $40 million with $16.5 million guaranteed at signing. Another $8.5 million in March 2023. 2 void years for cap purposes. 2 years, $25 million practical. So, guess what? Guess what? The Rams cap hit for Joseph Noteboom in 2022 is $3.5 million. And this, my friends, is why Les Snead and this organization is just a step ahead of everyone else. Joseph Noteboom is going to be playing on this deal. This season, he will be $3.5 million against the cap. That is an incredible job by Sean McVay, Les Snead, everybody who had Tony Pastors, everyone who got this deal done. I know Sean McVay has a say in it. This is what we're talking about. This is great. Just, wow. Just, that is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Love that. That's like nothing. 3.5 million cap hit? Are you kidding me? Such a nice job by the Rams. That's just that, man, I love that. Now, Noteboom is going to cost money down the road. That's fine. But when you're trying to run it back, this is what I'm talking about. 3.5 million cap hit. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. They're going to have plenty of space. Wagner's going to be a Ram. Bobby Wagner is 100% going to be a Ram. 100%. No doubt. Period. Exclamation point. Bobby Wagner will be an LA Ram. Gilmore, probably not. Sounds like they're not interested in Gilmore. I think it makes sense because they invested draft capital. 3rd round pick, I might add, in David Long. They invested a 4th round pick in Robert Rochelle. They don't need to add a guy like that necessarily. Could go after DJ Reed, could go through the draft. Who knows? Ramming it, if you're in here, they just responded to my tweet, and the cap hit, the cap is going to increase in 2023. So, it's great because it's going to increase in 2023, and then that 15 million or whatever ends up becoming like 10 million. It'll still be a $15 million cap hit, but based on the elevating cap in 2023, it would be like 10 million. Beautiful. The reason I think Wagner's 100% a Ram is because the Rams don't have much left. DeMarcus Lawrence is going to have a new deal with the Cowboys, from the looks of it. Okay, so that's the news. The reason I like Wagner to the Rams as 100% lock it in, don't worry about it, is because I think Wagner's going to take less than people are thinking, and I think Wagner wants to be in LA, and I think that Wagner is going to be recruited hard by guys like Jalen Ramsey. They're the reigning Super Bowl champions. Von Miller, everything that the Rams are building right now with Von Miller, OBJ, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, that Noteboom contract, the salary cap hit in 2022 speaks volumes to me. It tells me where their mind is at. And their mind is at bringing it all in this year. And that's the thing. So there's going to be restructures. They're going to get guys at that number. And that's what's going to happen. I mean, I 100% think Bobby Wagner's back with the Rams. I'm curious who else is going to join him, but I 100% think Bobby Wagner is going to be a Ram. I wonder if they'd bring back Littleton. I hope they do. And yeah, I don't think Gilmore is going to be a Ram. Maybe they go after Cordarrelle, who knows, but I'm feeling pretty good about Bobby Wagner being a Ram. Yeah, so I think they're going to go after Bobby Wagner, and I think they'll get Von Miller, they'll get OBJ signed, Aaron Donald will get whatever rework deal he needs, and then Stafford will be the contract extension, and the Rams will call it an off-season. Potentially. Maybe they'll get somebody else, but yeah, the Okorafor signing is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. He is not worth that. There's no way he is worth that money. I mean, the Rams have done plenty. I know some people are like, oh, well, I want to see like J.C. Jackson was never coming in the Rams. They were not going to pay a corner $18 million when they already have Jalen Ramsey making 20-something. But, I mean, yeah. Because they're not interested in Gilmore, according to according to a new report. Gilmore is down to, well, the only teams that are interested right now, the Jets, the 49ers, and the Raiders. So, I mean, we'll see. Things change, but I don't know. I just hope he doesn't go to the 49ers. Yeah, we were over 200 at one point. I think it went down because I was going to head out, but I am going to head out. I'm just going to ask you guys before I leave, who is your Final Four for March Madness? I got Kansas, Arizona, UCLA, and Texas Tech. So drop your Final Four below. I will read them, and then I'll get out of here. That's what I was talking about. Meyer Kos. Sorry if I butchered your name. Yeah, Noteboom's cap hit is awesome in 2022. That's exactly what you want. It's true. I agree. Locking up Noteboom, Allen, and Shelton is a huge day. I'm still waiting on you guys to drop your Final Fours for March Madness. Also, if you guys are interested, I will drop a link to join my March Madness. Well, it's the channel anyway. I have a channel group. So if anyone wants to play March Madness or whatever, they can do that. The bracket challenge on ESPN. Where is it? There it is. Cool. Yeah, join that link if you want to do some picks. I got a little group going on there, so we'll keep track of it and everything and maybe give away something to the winner. Who knows? But that is going to do it for me. I appreciate you guys. It's been a lot of fun talking. We'll have some more stuff up, of course, and should any breaking news drop, I'll go live probably, but be sure to check out Alexis at 9 p.m. Eastern time on our channel, Alexis Craft, and that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. It looks like you guys did. We had some fun, talked a little bit, crunched some numbers, things like that. So far, Rams have an A+ coming out of what looks to be the first half day of legal tampering period. So I really like what the Rams are doing. You should feel really good about the Rams right now. We'll see. I like some other teams. I like what the Steelers did with Trubisky. I did not like the Chuck Secora signing. I think the Jaguars are spending a little bit too crazy right now. And I'm hoping Gilmore doesn't go to the Niners. So that is going to do it for me. You guys take care, and I'll see you guys relatively soon. Later.